Hey friends, welcome back to another video from She's At It Again. My name is Tanya, and today I want to show you something that I've been making for a few years. It's kind of one of those little secrets, and when I tell people about it, they kind of brush me off like, that may be for you, but may not be for me. But this is fudge, and you don't cook it, and it's not made with sugar. So if you have somebody that you would really like to show some love to for Valentine's Day in particular, since that's coming up just in a couple of weeks, I would encourage you to try this. And it's not going to go bad if you make it now and then put it in the refrigerator just to make it stay firm. This will be a little soft at room temperature, not runny, but it'll be like taffy soft. Sorry, the clocks always go off. The dog starts eating as soon as I start these videos, so I apologize for the background noise. Go ahead, continue eating, Zoe. But this is one of those desserts that is so smooth, you almost just think this cannot be homemade, because normally when you make fudge that has sugar in it, it'll have that little bit of graininess to it, especially if you don't cook it just right. I've made the kind that has marshmallow cream to it, and it tastes fine. There's nothing wrong with the flavor of it. I mean, I like chocolate just as much as anybody else does. But this is so good, and of course it's made with honey, but there's nothing in this that's grainy except for the salt, and it's going to dissolve eventually. But it's just so smooth, you're just not going to believe it. So let's get started. It's not going to take long. I'm only going to make a small batch of this, and when I say small, I'm talking like little teeny tiny. This is the container I'm going to put it in, so this is like for one person, but it really is a decadent little dessert, so it doesn't take a whole lot. But I would encourage you, just multiply the batches as many as you want and just have fun with it. Use different toppings to it. Today we're going to be using some roasted salted almonds that I did earlier, and I've stored them in the refrigerator so they wouldn't go bad. I just had too much left over from a dessert that I did earlier. But in a bowl, I just melted 1/4 of a cup of butter, and I placed it in the oven because I just got finished baking some sourdough bread, and the oven is still hot. And to this, I'm gonna add not quite 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, just short of 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. So just add accordingly. I do not buy salted butter, so if you buy salted butter, you may not need salt, but I personally like a little bit of saltiness to my chocolate. To that, we're gonna add the dry cocoa powder, and 1/4 of a cup of that also. This is an easy recipe to remember. You have 1/4 of a cup of everything except for the salt. The whopping 3 ingredients that are in this. And what we're doing is, when you add the cocoa to the butter, it does matter what order you add these in. We're gonna let that cocoa bloom, and basically the cocoa powder is just going to be absorbing the fat in that butter. So give that a stir. Make sure all of the dry cocoa is stirred into the butter. And once you have that done, make sure there's no little lumps in there. You're going to add your 1/4 of a cup of honey. And this is raw honey. I would like to be able to use the benefits of the raw honey, the enzymes and everything in the honey. Since it's not going to be cooked, we're not going to heat it up at all. The only thing it has is warm butter in it. It's really not that warm anymore now that I've added the honey to it. But the benefits of the raw honey are still in there. So extra little bonus to that. And I'm using the cocoa that I've been using in the other videos. I think I've used it before. I'm not sure if that video's come out yet, but I know I use it all the time. It's just an organic cocoa from our local supermarket. A particularly dark cocoa is really good in this, so if you can get a hold of some Valroven or Scharfenberger or any of those really good kinds, then that would be lovely. You really have to love somebody to use those though. Otherwise, just eat it yourself. And you don't have to have a Valentine. You don't have to have a boyfriend or a husband or a wife or somebody you're dating. You don't have to have that. Just anybody that needs to be shown some love. And honestly, can you think of anybody who doesn't need to be shown that right now? So, just somebody that you really appreciate and needs to be shown love. And as long as they're not allergic to chocolate or anything in this, this would be a fabulous gift. I'm gonna add a little bit of the almonds to the mixture and then sprinkle the rest of them on top, or some of the rest of them on top anyway. Because the only thing better than fudge, to me, is fudge that has nuts in it, whether it's almonds or pecans or English walnuts. Don't put a black walnut in there. I will think you have lost your mind. That is the stinkiest thing I've ever smelled in my life. But I have a family that loves black almonds, or I'm sorry, black walnuts, and they try to get me to eat them, and I just think it's a trick. I don't think it's something you're supposed to be putting in your mouth, but I'm sure there's people out there that are going, what? I love black walnuts. You eat all of them you can, because I don't ever want to even see another one. They're so nasty. Okay, I took my parchment. I think I showed this in another video. Just take and wad it up as best you can, and it will behave a lot better than it will if you just leave it in a flat sheet. Take it and press it out to the shape of your dish. And your fudge is ready to put in the pan. Sorry, I'm hiding the other camera. If that's another view I'm blocking, I'm just hopelessly right-handed. And I can't hold that bowl any other way. Get all of that out of there. And seriously, that is all you do to this. Shoot, I've got chocolate on my finger. I'm gonna have to lick that when the camera goes off. I hate that for y'all, that y'all aren't here to enjoy that too. All right, bang this down a little bit. See if we can get a good view of that. Once this sets up in the refrigerator, just chill it for a while. Sets up in the refrigerator, and take the lid off, peel the parchment off, cut it up in probably about 9 little pieces. And this is some of the best fudge you will ever eat, I promise. And to give it to somebody and tell them that there's absolutely no processed sugar in it, that's just made with honey, is gonna blow their mind. So, hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you give it a try. You don't even have to have an oven to make this, people. You can make this in your hotel room. Go to a supermarket and get the stuff, make it in a hotel room. They'll think you're in there making something illegal. It's so good. Hope you enjoy it. Look forward to seeing you on the next video and sharing something else with you. See ya.